Hot list. Some common sense solution to the stories where the mainstream media, not doing their job. Do you remember Barack Obama's Auntie Zaintuni Ondiego? I love her. She surfaced towards the end of the campaign living in this country illegally in government housing. She had been ordered to leave the country when she surfaced in 2004 after her request for political asylum was turned down, and then during the election, and then they said, hey, we'll do it right after the election, and then they said, we're going to postpone that again. Well, now, according to the Boston Herald, as she waits for her deportation hearing 6 months away, she's living in public housing in South Boston. She told the Herald, quote, beggars can't be choosers. I'd like to live in a castle and have a limousine, but I don't. My wealth is my health. See, this is why I like her. The Herald says Auntie Ondiego bristled when she was asked if her nephew would stand up for her, saying, quote, my problem is my problem. I carry my own cross. I'm an adult. Wow. Wow, would I like you to have, maybe your nephew say those words from time to time. My question is, not to Auntie Ondiego, but to her nephew, the president. Let me ask you, Mr. President, why aren't you helping out your aunt? Are you afraid it might look bad? I mean, she's living in public housing. Then again, you're living in public housing. Very, very nice, very, very expensive public housing. But I'm sure you could spare a bedroom or two for a relative. I mean, isn't there like a place like Lincoln laid his head down or something? I mean, can't we open that up for her? Then there would be a place in Boston that would be available for someone else who couldn't move in with a relative. President Obama, maybe you don't remember this. I was very moved. Your keynote address at the Democratic National Convention back in 2004. Oh, listen.
If there is a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay for their prescription drugs and having to choose between medicine and the rent, that makes my life poorer even if it's not my grandparent. If there's an Arab American family being rounded up without benefit of an attorney or due process, that threatens my civil liberties. It is that fundamental belief. It is that fundamental belief. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper.
You know what? I remember that differently. I thought he said, I am my auntie's keeper. He clearly made it clear. My brother, not my aunt, my brother. My sister, maybe, my brother. By the way, do you remember when the Arab families were being rounded up and not giving access to attorneys? Wow. Did I black out there for a while? By the way, a spokesperson for the law firm representing, why are you putting her name in again, Auntie Ondiego, said that they're not discussing any legal strategy, but they, quote, are very optimistic about the outcome. Oh, I bet you are. The government now is joining in on the war on chins. Health and Human Service Secretary Kathleen Sebelius says most of the $1 billion under the stimulus plan disease prevention will go to fight obesity, heart disease, and other chronic conditions. She says a significant amount of money will go to help states and local communities fight obesity. Really? $1 billion. That's incredible. Oh, $1 billion. Now I've got a choice, heart disease or candy. How much money does it cost to tell people, hey, you know what, fat fatty, stop shoving, food in your face, exercise a little bit. My wife tells it to me all the time. I just don't pay attention. Oh, well. I mean, you know what, Secretary Sebelius, I got a great deal for you. What do you say? You give me $500 million. And every night I'll come on TV. I could be your spokesperson. And I could say, you eat all of these? Well, what used to be all of these, I don't know what happened. People are stealing them. And look, you can look like this. And finally, a positive story of citizen action. Have you ever noticed President Obama is all over television? Do you see that countdown to the beer thing yesterday? That was Well, not on this show, but on other networks. They were counting it down. Wasn't that great? I was fascinated by all the things I learned from it. Anyway, Dolores Neeson, she's 78 years old. She's an Iowa woman. She thinks it's too much. So she's selling 2 of her televisions in protest. I don't know if this is cash for clunking TVs. She put a classified ad in Iowa's Daily Times Herald selling the TVs because she, quote, was tired of Obama on every channel and every station. Neeson voted for McCain. That was a good choice. And says that she would understand the president on television for serious announcement, but he just seems to be on all the time. She told the paper she's keeping her larger flat screen with the remote in hand, ready to change the channel whenever the president appears. Well, that's community citizens taking action. And that is your hot list.
Looking for a job?